Hello and welcome to your average Indonesian. Sorry because I changed my name, and please subscribe and like my video if you're new here, and I also hope you enjoy the video. So I say in my last vid see my la in my tr- announce in my last video how I hate the anti SJW, but I never told you why I was in it before and what is an anti SJW. So in this video is an explanation of who is the anti-SJW and why I like their content at the first, but and how I left anti-SJW after I know that I have been lied to by these people. Now, so I watch anti-SJW content since I was 11 without I realize from a YouTuber named Griffin Gaming. But I watch the his channel after The Last of Us 2 controversy where the user score of The Last of Us 2 is low, super low. And during that day, anti-SJW make a lot of video about how SJW ruined The Last of Us 2, saying The Last of Us 2 is rubbish, SJ Last of Us 2 is being destroyed by the SJWs, and I was hooked of their content before. Looking back at it, of the I will not if I were a leftist now, I will be not hooked on their content because the anti SJW content before are lazy, unenjoyable, and hating a woman and feminism as well. In my opinion, Griffin Gaming is the channel that are close to the anti-SJW video, making multiple videos on why SJW go in Battlefield, The Last of Us 2, and Defend Doom Eternal. Now, so after looking back at this channel, I realized that he is a conservative, a political group that against changes. How did I know? Because in one of his video, he has a thumbnail that has Doom guy wearing a MAGA hat, which was a slogan for "Make America Great Again," which was a political slogan used by Donald Trump, which a lot of conservative news, a lot of conservative, a lot of conservative news to defend Donald Trump. Conservative love Donald Trump, even though he has do terrible things. They do terrible things. And part now, so let's get to the part two. Part two. Who are the anti-SJW and what are their content? Now I'm going to explain who are the anti-SJW. Anti-SJW form sometimes when a girl named Anita Sarkeesian make her video on feminist trope in gaming. This make gamer mad and form what was called Gamergator and harass Anita even when her points are half correct and half maybe incorrect, and spawn this anti-diversity and anti-political in gaming today, even though game were political before. After that, a YouTuber named The Quartering make this anti-SJW content popular again and gain 1 million subscribers. This make anti-SJW content spread like wildfire and spawn thousand copies like Geeks and Gamers, Yellow Flash, Nerdrotic, and much more. Their content are all the same. They sit in front of the camera and they sit in front of the camera. They sit in front of the camera, or even reading an article with a mocking tone, and makes a statement more at the end, mostly about, oh, this is SJW, or oh, this thing like here, or this game, movie, or comic book has been ruined by SJW, and etc. In my opinion, this content is lazy, and if you say, well, your content is lazy as dumb, the differences is I only have a mic and a tab and an editing app, and this YouTuber like the Quartering have $1,000 of PC and equipment and make video this lazy that I can maybe even make them. Now, anti-SJW content isn't just lazy; they're also wrong and inaccurate. And this is, in my opinion, the great criticism of anti-SJW content. This is so long. If part one of my part one of my part, and this is the criticism in this is criticism of the quartering in Dog Fighter AU video. Shout out for the funniest shout out ever, and you see that Dog Fighter AU criticizing quartering, and this is the one of the comments that are like, "Whoa, just discovered this channel and I love it. I hate the quartering. I watch his videos sometimes to get his bad takes or as opinion. Here's a few one that stand out to me. He criticized an IGN reviewer of Ghost of Tsushima because the reviewer criticized the open world as being kind of bland. Jeremy then complained that the reviewer is hypocrite for liking The Last of Us 2 open world. 60 plus video on The Last of Us 2 and he thinks it's an open world game. His grandstand about not buying MK11 or Mortal Kombat 11 because the girl outfit aren't skimpy enough. Without a single word of a gameplay mechanic, roster, or etc. He keeps saying that he wants politics out of his game unless they agree with his. For example, he be about Far Cry 5 being anti-white and Christian, and he urges his fan not to buy it. Then Far Cry 5 come out, and there are some jokes about the lips, and suddenly he's yelling about how SJW are so mad about Far Cry 5. The guy has no consistency. He just reaction to stuff. He doesn't even play any games that he criticized. In another video, he attacked a Kotaku reviewer for giving Kingdom Hearts 3 a 7-ish score. The game wasn't even out yet, and he's just whining about Otaku trying to be different. Then Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out, and it turns out it's not the best in the series. The reviewer is justified, but he never mentioned it again. He never holds himself accountable for his shitty takes. His political holds him. He political spounded, try pretending to be a nerd who's more concerned about the size of Tifa's breast over gameplay mechanics. Sorry for ranting. I just really hate that channel. Thanks for this comment for displaying how the quartering and all the anti-SJW content are sometimes inaccurate. Sometimes they're wrong. Sometimes they're misunderstood, or even they didn't even play the game. So let's get to the third part, which was how I get out of the anti-SJW rabbit hole and the conclusion. So you know that type of content, right? And I'm going to explain why I know their lies and how I get out of the anti-SJW rabbit hole. So anti-SJW want to predict that a Marvel movie Shang-Chi will be a flop because it has an Asian character. They wrong. Shang-Chi didn't flop. When I was an anti-SJW, I was confused because back when I used to be an anti-SJW, I would never thought that these people, the anti-SJW, would lie to me. Then they started getting offended by Shang-Chi, making a joke about them after Shang-Chi decided to make meme about them, about all their videos in one Instagram post, and then just put LOL, and tries to cancel him. After that, my world turned upside down, and I searched for a YouTuber named Parallax that I found in the recommended section that I ignore. He makes good video on Hero Hey, and I'm not going to explain most of his video, but this is the good take about anti-SJW. That I found interesting is that anti-SJW doesn't understand that anime, games, and movie are political before. Like for example, he shows one anime that about the story about a Japanese scientist that felt guilt contributing Japan effort in World War II, and the maker of that anime is harassed by Japanese people for because for slandering their homes. And if you think of it, if Hiro Hayes in the Japanese people, he will say that the creator of this anime that make anime about a Japanese scientist that felt guilt about contributing for Japan World War II will say that this creator is an SJW. And there's a lot and there's a lot of also inaccuracies in anti-SJW. In For example, in video games, there's a lot of video games that criticize capitalism, which should make it political, as well as movie also has a lot of minority representation and the criticism about capitalism. Even in anti-SJW favorite movie, there's politics in it. For example, Blade Runner. Blade Runner has a politic about climate change and how capitalism ruined the world that I cannot explain because it's so long. So if you want more, Kafernacle make a good video in it. But the anti-SJW love it. It said it was free politics and SJW influence. Even though they have a lot of politics. After that, I felt betrayed and I've been lied to by these anti-SJW people. After that, I left the anti-SJW after I realized that. So thank you for Parallax for saving me for the anti-SJW rabbit hole. You can support him by liking his video, by liking his Hirohe video. Is underrated, but because Hirohe look at this video, he decided to make a video about him and make his friend harass him. So if you can, so support your condolences, support Parallax by liking his video, cause Hirohe stands decided to dislike his video. Now so let's go. Let's go to the conclusion. His anti-SJW rabbit hole is crazy. I started watching like anti-SJW content back in age 11. I started out just hating the game like Last of Us 2, Battlefield 5, and hating on this game that I don't even own. And it started at that, no, but then it ended at I harassed Asian actor that play in the movie that I don't, don't want to watch, don't want to watch. So if your kid watching this, like for example, if your kid is on the grow up phase, like 10 or 11 years old, and watching anti-SJW content, please didn't recommend in this video like try to unsubscribe to this anti-SJW channel, cause at the end of the day they just lie to you. They treat you like a item instead of like a people, and it could get worse because after the anti-SJW there was the alt-right, which was another thing that I'm not going to explain, because another thing that I'm not going to explain because it was so long. If you could just search a video anti-SJW hole or alt-right rabbit hole to know about this video. That's it for today. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and share this video to everyone you know to grow up my channel. So this is your average Indonesian. That is for today.